Are you ready to take your investment game to the next level? Introducing Digital Investor, your ultimate guide to mastering the digital marketplace. Whether you're a seasoned pro or just starting out, Digital Investor brings you cutting-edge game theoretical strategies, expert insights, and real-time tips and tactics to analyze, evaluate, invest, and grow your wealth. Don't miss out on the digital revolution. Visit www.nickblacknext.com and start your journey with Digital Investor today.
All right, let's see. What's going on? Hello. There's no announcement of anything yet. Jesus Christ, man. You guys, don't you think just 3 seconds of looking in the Telegram groups would answer all of your questions? Patience, man. All right. Hello. Ooh, your annual physical. You know what that means? Howard got a finger somewhere interesting, and he wasn't paying for it this time. Hello. Okay, so let's see. Some news. Well, did anybody see the Nvidia, the presentation by Jensen Huang with all the new stuff? Well, all the new chips that they're kind of coming out with. I watched that. It's pretty interesting. I mean, I think he was saying a lot. Their chips, their gaming chips, and everything else is being really angled towards AI, or at least. And he was talking about one chip. What was it? The 4090. Their 4090 rig. And that one, I think it can process AI workloads and like PC workloads at the same time. Like, it's pretty interesting. Like, I don't know. It's anyway, cool stuff, but no one seemed to really be all that excited, and it sold off. Was it 4890? Anyway, it was, yeah, I thought the stuff was pretty cool, but I mean, I'm not like a chip expert, and I'm not like a processor expert, but I think it was like CPU tasks, AI GPU tasks, like all sorts of cool things at the same time. Anyway, no one cares. And the stock summarily sold off. I don't know. Oh, because I guess the big push is into chips and chip systems that can function for robotics. I think that's another big deal. So I know, but just wait, be patient. They'll tell you or not in their own good time. All right. I would have thought they would have already said all this stuff 2 weeks ago, because that was the original plan, was Christmas. But then the people that they're working with were all gone for 2 weeks. And you can't do a press release of a partner and no one from the partnership entity is at work for 2 weeks. So there you go. Okay. Michael Barr resigned, I guess, in fear of Trump coming in and chopping his head off. He resigned. I'll go through it, but it's pretty interesting. Definitely some kind of shakeup at the Fed. They talk a big game 6 months ago. They talked a big game 2 months ago after the election. Oh, it's no big deal, Jerome Powell. Oh, I have no intention of stepping down. Bitch, the second he calls you, you'll step down. You'll step down forever. You know, like these guys, they can blab all they want, but the reality is they will get in line. But anyway, Michael Barr resigned or is resigning, and he'll still be a Fed governor, but he won't be in a position of authority, which was a made-up position, by the way, a made-up position anyway. I mean, I guess all positions are made up, but yeah. All right. So we'll go through that. Interestingly, even though Solana developers used to say that nothing was wrong, now they're admitting that they're having some scalability challenges, and they've come up with this new idea, a hashing system, a lattice network type hashing system that could alleviate all the problems that they're not having, right? Because Solana's never shut down. Anyway, I will say that that's at least a glimmer of maturity, a tiny glimpse of what might look like maturity. The dump. Yeah, the market's kind of dumping, isn't it? It's kind of essing the bed. I don't know. The traditional markets were down a little bit. I think, these things are 3 or 4 days up and a day down, 2 days down, 3 or 4 days. But I do think people are taking on less and less leverage because I feel like the hammerings are getting less and less. So that's a good thing, right? Not as many broke service industry workers. I mean, they're broke, but not as many. This coffee is chocolate coconut. What are those little ones? There's Almond Joy. What's the other one? Mounds, right? Mounds. Almond Joy has a little almond, and then Mounds is what? Like an Almond Joy just without an almond. Which, I mean, I guess. Anyway, Almond Joy is good. This tastes like that. It's the coffee version of Almond Joy without the almonds. Although I guess if I tasted the almonds, that's like a hint of cyanide. I think cyanide tastes like almonds, and that would mean that someone was out to get me. Anyway, so, okay, let's talk about Michael Barr. We've kind of already talked about Nvidia a little bit. TA is still stupid. Don't go on Twitter, X, whatever, and get your marching orders. None of those mofos know what's going on. It's a bunch of jackwagon fools. That's right. Sometimes you feel like a nut. Sometimes you don't. Those commercials were cheesy. And then it would say, like, Almond Joy's got nuts. Mounds don't. And I was like, oh, these guys are clever. Same candy. Oh, Almond Joy's milk chocolate. Now that I didn't know. I thought that was both the same, just one had. Interesting. Lotus? Might have just broken the internet right there, buddy. Anyway. Yeah, well, I think the Nvidia presentation yesterday was not all that exciting. I mean, it was very technical. I thought it was cool, but I don't think it was exciting to regular people. And I think they were like, I don't know what they were expecting. Robots to come out and terminate people. But anyway, they didn't get that. So I think that's part of some of the lack of enthusiasm. I guess T-bill rates were up. I was looking to see if there was anything dramatic. Every now and then I'll look at their CNBC, their little blurbs. I mean, the Dow Jones is up. It's just that the S&P and the NASDAQ are down because the tech-heavy NASDAQ. I don't know. I'm not sure. The 10-year is up. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know that there's anything specifically obvious about why crypto is selling off. But anyway, so let's talk about. Let's start here. Let me get some a little bit more peaceful. Uh, let's talk about Michael Barr leaving the Fed, at least leaving his weird position, concocted, contrived, shouldn't exist, laughable joke of a job position for a second. Okay. And by the way, our friend Michael Barr he's not a big fan of crypto. He's not a fan of technology. He would be using an abacus and like beads to count if it was left up to him. But apparently he's out. The Federal Reserve Vice Chair for Supervision. You say, wait, what? It's a supervisory vice chair. He's the vice chair for supervision. Again, made up position. Has announced that he's stepping down from the top regulatory job effective February 28th. And it seems like this is strategic timing because of Donald Trump. So in comes Donald back in power, and he is known for not tolerating the douchebaggery at the Fed, or just opposition in general at the Fed. So while Barr is leaving his supervisory role, he will stay as a Fed governor until his term ends in 2026, or he's fired for cause, but that's a tricky thing. But anyway, he was harassing not just crypto markets but the stock market. Barr was a piece of crap. That's it. He was a piece of crap. And he had a weird made-up position, and he had this. His statement was carefully worded. He didn't want to name Trump directly because I guess he doesn't want to be audited for the rest of his natural life. But he said in his statement, the risk of a dispute over the position, his made up position that didn't even exist a few years ago, could be a distraction from our mission. In the current environment, I've determined that I would be more effective in serving the American people from my role as governor. Bullshit. You're scared of getting fucking fired. So what you're trying to do is reduce your position. You're like, no, I'm not doing that anymore. You don't have to fire. I'm going to be. He's just protecting his ass. Anyway, and Wall Street liked it. Matter of fact, people were very jubilant because the guy's a piece of crap. No one likes him. And he's not very good at his job either. This is supervisory means like supervising banks and all this kind of stuff. They're supposed to be able to know, within some amount of reason, maybe that a bank is going to crash before you get the news on CNBC. Anyway, bank stocks rallied immediately after Barr's resignation hit the news. And the Spider S&P Bank ETF, which tracks all the kind of bigger banks, jumped over 1%. Investors kind of understand that Trump now gets to name a pro-crypto, pro-banking appointee. So he's going to have another appointee. And so when Trump leaves, he and Elon, the real vice president, it looks like they will be able to make a lot of fundamental changes that should last for quite a while. This is kind of cool. I think it's cool. Anyway, Barr's exit also freezes, again, Barr is the douchebag that's just decided to demote himself. Also freezes the Fed's ongoing regulatory projects. Key among them is the Basel Endgame, which is a controversial set of rules aimed at tightening banking oversight. So it's been a sore point for the industry for quite some time. And with Barr stepping down, progress on these reforms is now on hold or done. That's it, maybe. It depends. Could be very interesting the next few months are going to be pretty crazy, I think. Anyway, the vice chair for supervision role wasn't even a thing a few years ago. It was created after the 2008 financial crisis when Wall Street's biggest players were dropping like flies. Barr's tenure wasn't, of course, without its own drama. in 2023, SVB, remember Silicon Valley Bank? Remember when like all those banks got nuked? Silicon, Signature, there's two others. Anyway, they all blew up within like a month and a half. And a handful, there was four, I think it was 4 and maybe 5 banks. And remember the FDIC came in and did all that kind of quasi illegal bullshit. And then Chase Bank was helping to deal with the problem. And then then Jamie Dimon went from being a consultant to a buyer and like went and cannibalized a couple of these banks and then got a profit sharing, a loss sharing agreement with the U.S. taxpayer. Remember all that bullshit? Anyway, this is under his watch. And this triggered a crisis that had forced the Fed to step in with a special liquidity facility. And again, they don't have money, so they have to get this from the Treasury. But anyway, to prevent this kind of broad-based meltdown. So while the immediate damage was contained, the episode raised questions about the Fed's ability to foresee risks of any nature. Like, do you guys ever see anything in front of you? And they're like, no, we see things behind us, way behind us, 6 months behind us. That's as forward thinking as we are. These dudes drive on the racetrack with the rear view mirror. So, and it was also, remember, that was a pretty bad time. Crypto was in the kind of, the AI side of crypto was crushing, was great, but everything else was getting kicked in the nuts. So anyway, Barr was widely considered to be a big part of the reason why banks have been unable to engage and custody crypto. So, and then I guess you can kind of look deeper into Donald Trump's history with the Fed, which is, it's tenuous. His relationship with the Fed is tenuous and complex. So during the first term, he slammed the Fed Powell for raising interest rates and even floating the idea of firing Jerome Powell. And while he didn't do it, the tension between Trump and Powell was kind of a constant thing. And again, when Trump said jump, Powell asked how high and for how long. Like it's not, these guys aren't going head to head. There is no head to head. There is Trump, and then there is big-eared, mostly lies through his nose Powell. So the Fed's independence is again under scrutiny, and the president's most direct influence on the Fed comes from his ability to appoint governors and assign key roles, including the chair itself. So the appointments, they require Senate confirmation, but the Republicans control the whole thing. They got the whole thing. Thanks, Kamala. You nailed it. Republicans got everything. You start to wonder if Kamala was just put up there to get nuked. Like if that was the whole idea. They're just like, we're done. Democrats, you guys done? You guys tired? Yeah, let's call it a day. Plus, we need to get Ellen DeGeneres the fuck out of the United States. If we can just get her and Richard Gere to book it, how could we do that? How could we do both at the same time? What could we do that would get rid of Ellen DeGeneres before she gets indicted from the whole Diddy Island bullshit? And what could we possibly do? How do we keep gerbils safe? Oh, Kamala. Anyway, all these and more. All these and more. So Trump will be able to pretty significantly shape Fed leadership. That's a pretty big deal. So Jerome Powell's term as the chair ends in 2026, and Trump had said he won't fire him, but we don't know what Trump will or won't do because we don't know what Powell won't or won't do. If the Fed continues to miss the ball, which of course they will because they don't know what they're looking at and they don't know how to define what they're looking at, and they're looking at it through old crusty 1960s yellowed paper econometric bullshit models. Of course they don't know what they're looking at. So like Powell may not get fired. He might not get fired. I mean, he would do the same thing as Gensler, right? He would, you can't fire me, I quit. No, you got fired, bitch. Same thing with Gensler. Gensler's like, I quit. No, you didn't. No, you didn't. You got fired. you're saving a little bit of the dignity that you don't have any left. Anyway, Powell's term as governor lasts. So even though his chairmanship goes away in 2026, he's not going to be reappointed. By the way, it's unlikely. His term as governor lasts till 2028, but by then Trump will have had a bunch of people that he has been able to appoint and effectively change policy making moving forward. So it would be another vacancy that looms in January 2026 when Governor Adriana Kugler's term ends, and this will give Trump another opportunity to steer the Fed in his direction. So during his campaign, the first time, mostly this campaign, again, not presidency campaign, Trump was very careful, saying that he believed presidents should not interfere with monetary policy, but he also insisted that the president should have some influence over monetary policy. So, which I get. I mean, I don't think the Fed, I don't think the president should be a central banker, but I think that they should listen to what he has to say, or at least his economic advisors, whatever that means. Anyway, so he made it pretty clear that he wants the Fed to be more aligned with his kind of growth-oriented, low-regulation economic vision. Pro-capitalism, how we got here. So can Trump fire Jerome Powell outright? He can't directly. I mean, if he said you're fired, he's fired, right? Like, that's the reality, is Jerome would leave. But the Federal Reserve Act, again, that's the part, that's where we screwed up, giving these idiots any kind of control. It allows the president to remove board members for cause. But you get a bunch of lawyers together and they're saying that's very difficult. Like, it would involve misconduct or abuse of power or something like that. They basically have to find like a gay bartender's body in someone's trunk. And they're not above it, but in this case, I don't think Powell's done anything so egregious that he gets the bartender in the trunk treatment. So it would be hard. It would be harder to remove Powell, but it would be easy to tell him to leave, because he would leave. Because I think even Powell said, or Trump said, if I told him to leave, he would leave. If I asked him to leave, he probably wouldn't leave. I think that's a pretty fair. I think that's a pretty fair estimation of the situation. Anyway, and even if Trump stripped him of his chairmanship, Powell would still be. He could still lead the rate setting committee. Although my guess is, so the other members of the board of governors, they're the ones who choose the rate setting committee. But I bet you if Jerome Powell got stripped of his chairmanship, he would quickly find out that the people he thinks are his super friends might not be his super friends. I don't think he'd be on the rate setting committee. Just my gut feeling. So anyway, kind of interesting stuff there. Yeah. Okay. Oh, and then the other thing that we should talk about, let me see if I can push it over. See if I can push it over to this one. Oh yeah. Okay. We can talk Solana a little bit. It's not my favorite topic, but it's something. So it seems like the Solana developers that, again, there was no problems. There's never any problems. And even when the network shuts down, they're like, everything's fine. Everything's fine. Who cares? Like, everybody's whatever. But their proposal, which is SIMD 215, introduces a lattice-based homographic hashing function. Like, what did you call me? So Solana developers have unveiled a new hashing system designed to tackle scalability issues that have plagued their network with network outages. Yes, that has happened. At least they're admitting it. The proposal titled SIMD 215 introduces a lattice-based homomorphic hashing function that aims to streamline the network and how the network verifies and tracks user accounts, ultimately allowing it to handle billions of accounts efficiently. Now, let's not get carried away with billions of transactions, but billions of transactions efficiently. Currently, the Solana network recalculates the state of all accounts regularly, a process that becomes increasingly cumbersome as the user base grows with bullshit like pump.fun and all these stupid-ass meme coins. Anatoly Yakovenko, Russian shiesty motherfucker number one of Solana Labs, noted this issue. He's referred to it as the state growth problem in a recent post. The state growth problem. But at least they're admitting it, right? So at least shiesty mofo number one is admitting it. He explained that creating new accounts requires the network to verify uniqueness, which is computationally expensive under the current system. The runtime must maintain a global index of all accounts, creating significant overhead for every network node. Got it. So the account lattice hash outlined in this proposal aims to eliminate this bottleneck by introducing instant verification, removing the need to recalculate the entire state of all accounts. Okay. So the homomorphic hashing function allows the network to update its state by processing only the accounts that have changed rather than everything, right? Which makes sense. So crypto research firm Republic Labs liken the approach to cleaning a house where only the messy rooms are cleaned rather than scrubbing the entire house every day. Yeah, that's what I do with my robot. I send robot to the dirty rooms where the kitties are messing around. Anyway, this method could save a bunch of computational resources and maintain system integrity. If implemented, the proposal could significantly enhance Solana's speed and efficiency and make it better equipped to handle mass adoption, because right now it is not. But you know, they could make those changes, and that would be valuable. Solana remains a pretty good player in DeFi, although most of the on-chain activity is sketchy, scammy, spammy, meme coiny, bullcrappy projects. I mean, it is. That's what it is. But you know what? There's a lot of sketchy, spammy, scammy, meme coiny type people that punt their paychecks every, 12, 15 bucks at a time into these stupid ass markets. So for them, good. I want everyone to make money, even the spammy, scammy, stupid, low IQ service industry dummies. I want them to make money too. I want everybody to make money. Everybody. Because the traditional finance is so stupid. It's so antiquated and slow and messy and rife with corruption that we can all make money as this thing grows. So hopefully this will be good. According to DeFi Llama, I'd like to be a llama. Solana's DEX records over 113 billion in trading volume last month. Pretty good. Compared to 79 billion for Ethereum. But again, most of that's the spammy meme coin trading back and forth. But then you could have made the same argument with Ethereum. Most of Ethereum's volume is sketchy ICOs. That was a fair, or you could say it was sketchy NFT projects that are rug pulling everyone. Also a fair assertion. So they're not scammy people and scumbags and douchebags and little stupid fads they're gonna happen where they happen. They're gonna happen where it's easiest to happen. In terms of developer numbers, Solana has overtaken Ethereum as the top destination for new developers in 2024, breaking Ethereum's 8-year dominance. According to a December 12th report by Electric Capital, Solana saw 7,625 new developers begin the very ending of their career. by joining the Solana ecosystem, surpassing Ethereum's 6,450. Okay, so it's about 1,200 different. Notably, it was increased developer activity in Asia. Okay, good. Solana also briefly surpassed Ethereum on two significant occasions. On March 18th, Solana's network activity exceeded Ethereum's due to heightened demand for Solana-based meme coins. Later on October 28th, Solana's daily network fee generation surpassed Ethereum for a 24-hour period because of Solana-based meme coins. I feel that this may be a flash in the pan. I don't think meme coins are the future of, I don't know what in the same way that the ICO thing came and passed. The NFT spammy phase came and passed. And I think this too will pass. And again, there'll still be NFT projects. There'll still be ICOs here and there. There'll still be spammy ass Solana meme coins. And people will still screw other people and game it and pull scams and shenanigans. That's not going to change. But it won't be to the extent and with the buy-in that it has been. Man, it's really windy. Go fucking clean everything. If it's windy for 5 minutes, it's 2 hours of cleaning. Fuck you, nature. Anyway, at least not on tornadoes. In another incident earlier this month, prominent blockchain researcher Max Resnick announced that he shifted from Ethereum infrastructure firm CoinSensus, not coin like COIN, coin like with CoinSensus, to Solana-focused R&D company Anza. And on this day, no one cares. He's not all that interesting, and neither the price of Ethereum dropped nor did Solana go up. Resnick is a cool dude, but he's not the Messiah. And it's kind of like, okay. He was in the consensus special mechanism group where he voiced support for alternative scaling models. It's likely that the reason he booked it was because they weren't listening to him. He thought he wasn't getting enough, kind of, what would you say, considered ears? I don't know. And so he's like, I'll take my over to Ethereum. Who knows? Here we are. So there you go. Solana has a new idea to scale, to clean the messy rooms first. Yay. All right. Let's take a look at markets. And then if you have any kind of 10,000 foot market related questions, we'll address those. Then we're going to go talk about, we're going to reiterate the 5 T's. I think people have not been thinking about their 5 T's enough. So we're going to go through the 5 T's. We're going to talk about use utility adoption. We're going to talk about the pillars of a crypto transaction and the pillars of success and the pillars of math. Yeah, all that and more. But first, we're going to go and look at these markets. Let me take this old banner off of there. You guys don't need that. You don't need no banner. We don't need no stinking banners. Okay. The Bitcoin down 4.5. Let's call it 4.5. Ethereum really getting dick punched. It's down 7%. On the 30-day, it's down almost 13%. Ethereum is just not performing well, which we've talked about this ad nauseum. I think it will perform quite well this year. Year to date, meaning in the last 12 months, 53% it's not something you'd be depressed about. But it's not something that you're going to go open up a hedge fund about either. I think Ethereum's going to have a great year. We'll see. XRP, why do people buy it? No one knows. No one knows. People will tell you because of a little bear, because of a magical bear, bearable guy. People will tell you because of a Riddler. People will tell you because of 589. People will tell you because the new Ripple stable coin, which, by the way, does not leverage XRP. So the same people that are pumping money into XRP don't understand that they're just paying the rent for Ripple, the company. They're paying employees. They're lining the pockets of Brad and Chris. Ripple, the company, doesn't use XRP for all that much. You know what they use it for? To sell it, to line their pockets and pay their employees and keep the lights on. Because what they do is not yet profitable. They don't make money. The way they make money is selling XRP. The way MicroStrategy makes money is selling MicroStrategy stock. There's no fucking business model there. None. I'm saying at MicroStrategy. At Ripple, the business model is apparently a kind of murky idea that they will be ready for the Great Reset. We're going to be here for the Great Reset. We're going to have a stable coin. Okay. So what? Yeah, but it's going to be a stable coin. Okay, cool. What's unique about that? It's a stable coin. Got it. You guys out of jail yet? Well, no, we're still fighting the appeal. Okay, cool. You paid that fine yet? No, but the price of XRP is higher, so we'll be able to sell less tokens to pay those fines. Oh, that's good. That's good. Anyway, yeah, I don't know what the argument is for XRP other than a weird sentimental one and a bunch of jackwagons on social media just pumping XRP. Why? Because why? Just because, man. Great Reset. That's all you have to say. If you don't know shit and you drive an Uber, you just kind of nod knowingly. Sell the Great Reset. Shut the fuck up. Keep driving. Take that little fucking pine cone thing down. It smells disgusting. I want to throw up back here. And what are these beads on the seat? Get a real seat cover, motherfucker. And shut up. Don't give financial advice. Drive the fucking car. The Great Reset. What? Oh my God. Yeah. Weirdly, central banks are not buying XRP. Oddly, isn't that crazy? Oh God. Anyway, there you go. But you know what? I could at least make a better argument for the maybe Great Reset of XRP than for Dogecoin. There is zero reason to own this thing other than Elon Musk might tweet about it. Oh, okay. Let's get it. Let's get that thing. Why your live coin market would show all red would be depending on what. Look at the categories. You see these categories here? 24/7. You got to look and see which ones. I set up a custom. I'll show you. I have a layout that's a custom layout, and these are the only things that I have checked. Market cap, all-time high, 24, 7-day, 30-day, 90-day, 1 year. Okay? That's it. That's all I got. And that's what gives me this beautiful screen. This beautiful screen that you see here. All right. I've been reviewing all the DI trading logic documents. Very easy to see the crazy price action. I recall this close to the opening line of the doc. I'm not sure what you're talking about, but I like where you're going with it. I like 3 dots. I like the ellipses. All right. What else is going on? Cardano went way up, came way down. Not way down, came a little down. That's only 3.5%. I mean, this is a little bit of give back. Look at the last 7 days. Just about everything is up on a 7-day. It gave up some of the weekends, some of yesterday's topness. But for the most part, and look, even Sia coin's still positive. For the most part, things are still up. Except, the bridge is down just a hair. I mean, it's down 6% today, which only brings it down 3%, meaning for other than today, the bridge would be up to. Yeah, I don't think there's anything here to be panicked about. These are just all little kind of reversions to the mean in this general climb up and to the right. And it does give you a chance to dollar cost average into things that you think are quality. I've added some stuff over the last few days. I added some stuff that I'll talk about with Brandon tomorrow behind the wall. All right. We need to switch gears. We need to talk about the 5 Ts because people are starting to get a little memey and a little spammy and a little bullshitty in the way that they're looking at assets. So let's switch gears. Oh, that's funny. That's not where we're going. Let's switch gears a little bit and let's get into let's do some brain work and let's talk about 5 Ts.
Hello. You're late.
You're bad at math, but I'm giving you an A+ in confidence.
Just doing what I gotta do.
Extra credit.
Damn right, extra credit. All right. Let's do some 5 Ts. So everybody here is going to write. You see this little, don't copy and paste either if you can. No. Team, timing, technology, tokenomics, and Y token. Everybody here is going to write that down. You're going to write down the 5 Ts right now. The 154 of you. I want to see 154 5 Ts. Team, timing, Howard nailed it. Technology, tokenomics, Y token. No, Howard, don't move ahead with use utility. We're not there yet. We're not there yet. And you left one off, buddy. Remember, use utility, wide scale adoption, hoarding effect, and what would dummies do? Get it right, Howard. You did it too. You guys are copy and pasting. Stop it. Don't copy and paste. Yes. If you're copying and pasting, it's because you don't know it. You might know where it is, but you don't know it. You need to know this. This needs to be in your brain all the time. When grandma asks, hey, Ryan, why did you buy that crypto token? You say, Grandma, I looked at the team, the timing, the technology, the tokenomics. I asked myself, why does this token exist? And she'll say, Ryan, that's very clever of you. I don't know if she'll say it like that, like a cawing, like a pterodactyl, like a dinosaur, like a raptor would say it, but maybe. All right. You cannot copy and paste. You didn't type it out, Howard. Are you telling me that you typed it out and someone else typed out the exact same thing that you typed out with the same grammatical errors? Is that what you're telling me, Howard? Don't answer that, Howard. Don't walk down that alley, Howard. You don't want that kind of heat. Anyway, so let's dig into these. Let me make the music a little quieter. Yeah. Okay. Let's dig into the 5 Ts. So there is more. You need to now peel the onion back. What I do is, by the way, for each of the 5 Ts, I give them a score of 1 to 5. And 0 or 1 being the worst, like, Ripple. And then 5 being really, really good, like not Ripple. And so you put all these scores together, all 5 of these 1 through 5s, and that's going to give you a number. And if it's greater than 18, to me, it's investable. If it's less than 18, say it's 15 to 18, it's probably a trade. If it's beneath that, it might be a trade, but it's going to be going up and down based on bullcrap and whimsy. There's not going to be any. You should endeavor to have some fundamental argument or reason why you own the things that you own and in the allocations or the percentages that you own them. That makes sense? So, and these are so that you can make these arguments to yourself. You can make arguments to yourself. Because there's no, I mean, there is nothing fundamental about fundamentals. It's just you need some way. You need some way to frame in your mind what you own and how much of it you own and how long you're going to hold on to it, when you should take profit, things like that. So you score them. So you weight, you want to weight each of these. So like you say, well, what's a 1 and a 5? How do I score it? How you score it is where use, utility, wide scale adoption, hoarding effect, and what would dummies do comes into play, right? These are these pillars. So you have pillars in math. Does anyone know here? Ken probably knows this. Kirill knows this. Do you know what the pillars of math are? The pillars of math. I'm looking for 3 things. The pillars of math. See if anyone gets it while I take a sip of this fine cafetito. The pillars of math are, I didn't see any answers. Definitions, theorems, and proofs. These are the pillars. These are the 3 pillars of math. There's 3 legs. It's a stool. No. Good try, but no. The pillars of math are definitions, theorems, and proofs. So I want everyone to write it. The pillars of math are definitions, theorems, and proofs. I'll even let you copy it. Here. Let's see. You'll be able to copy it. Boom. I wish it would show up the way it like goes on my thing. These are the pillars of math. Bam. Definitions, theorems, proofs. Okay. Now, the pillars of crypto trading, the pillars of project success, right? And hopefully that means investment success. Touche, Robert. Touche indeed. The pillars of crypto success, and that is use, utility, potential for wide-scale adoption, potential for hoarding effect, and now we've added what would dummies do. So like in the use, is there a clear use case and people use it? Will people use it? Utility. Is the world a slightly better place because of it? Does it create utility? Does it ease a friction or many frictions in the world that exist? Not made up frictions, not bullshit frictions, not problems in search of solutions in search of challenges, but real frictions. And adoption. Will people, institutions, governments actually onboard and use the technology, the software, or just the business proposition? Okay. Then would all of these things create some potential hoarding effect by investors or speculators looking to front run? Because ultimately, and even users of it might say, well, I use this service. I'm going to pre-purchase these tokens and hold them in a bank of sorts. I'm going to hoard them because I think the price of them might go up and I'll be able to get my same service for this price, a fixed price, even though the token price might fluctuate. Yes, cool. The hoarding effect. Then what would dummies do? Because I guess we have to factor that now, because such a huge component of this market is dummies. You can't ignore it. A lot of people are like, forget the idiots. You can't forget the idiots. The insane run the asylum in most cases. So we got to factor in what would dummies do. So those are the pillars of crypto success. So you had the pillars of math, definitions, theorems, and proofs, and you had the pillars of crypto success. Then, and only then, can you create some fundamental argument for your, so that's You use the pillars of crypto success to kind of get yourself a score of 1 to 5 in each of the team, technology, timing, tokenomics, and why does a token exist, which you could also call token necessity. You know, when it was explained to me, it was why token. I like that. Why token? Token necessity. So assess the team's reliability, their expertise, their integrity, consider their track record, their trustworthiness, whether they possess the necessary business and technical skills to execute the project effectively. Do they have a strong and transparent team with a history of success, which, you know, is pretty crucial for a project's credibility? Are they scumbags? Is there, you know, look at the 2 Russian rule. Are there more than 2 Russians? If so, I'm out. I mean, I'm immediately out. I'm out. If they're on the main team, you can have tons of Russian scientists. Like, everybody's got Russian scientists, computer scientists. But if they're in the executive ranks, I'm out. I'm out, because it's mostly a scam. It just is. Doesn't mean you can't make money off of it. It just means it's mostly a scam. Okay, so look at the team. Would you have dinner with them? Would you lend them money? That's what you're doing. You're giving them money. So you better be comfortable lending them cash. Then we look at the technology. We evaluate the project's technological foundations and its innovation presumptions. So determine if the software and its planned upgrades are logical and feasible. So if they're telling you we're going to create faster than the speed of light travel, I'm out. You're breaking the rules of physics. If you're trying to break the rules of physics, I am out, because you're a fucking idiot. And all you're here to do is scam people. So assess whether the project introduces novel solutions or merely replicates existing things and just puts a little spin on it, and it's nothing really different. And, you know, does it address problems in an elegant or comprehensible way? And can it be explained? If you can't explain the technology, you either don't understand it or no one understands it. Period. Remember Badger DAO and all the DeFi bullshit they were doing, and how no one, even people there at Badger DAO, could really explain what was going on? And then, of course, the whole fucking thing crashed to zero. Yeah, that's what happens. Anyway, timing. So consider the project's relevance within the current technological landscape. Analyze whether the project's concepts are timely. Are they ahead of its time? Are they lagging behind technical advancements? Has technology passed them by, or are they on the bleeding edge? Because timing can significantly influence a project's adoption and success. Timing. Well, let's use Ripple again. In 2017, were they ahead of the curve? Yes. XRP was awesome. That currency was fast. So was XLM. Jed McCaleb, we have to thank for that. It's not David Schwartz. Don't give that fat asshole any credit. No. Jed McCaleb. So in 2017, 2016, you could move money fast. The problem was the disparity between, like, stable coins, the disparity between the price of Bitcoin and when you got into XR, because these tokens move so fast and they were so wacky and illiquid that you would get beat up on price. But the concept of moving currency really, really fast, they nailed it, and really cheap, super cheap transactions. So they were ahead of the curve. So in 2017, 2018, XRP made sense. We didn't yet know that they were selling underneath us illegally at deep market discounts up to 30% with no lockups. We didn't know this. We just thought it was these guys trying to build some kind of intersection between traditional finance and Web3, which they weren't even calling Web3 at that time, but like what would be considered Web3 finance, disintermediated finance. And so it made sense then. The problem is that it never changed. It never got any better. And now the things that they do, nearly free transactions, pretty fast. It's not even really that fast anymore compared to some of these other projects. It's actually kind of slow. So all the things that they had that were timely and that were or ahead of its time or bleeding edge, they gave up all those things over 2017, 2018, 2019, 2020, 2021, 2022, 2023, 2024. They missed it. If they were going to do something, they'd have done something. This whole, we were in court with the SEC. Bullshit. That doesn't prevent you from sending super fast transactions and creating on-demand liquidity throughout the world and all these exotic corridors and all the other fucking bullshit that they promised that never came true. Like, it's just, so in 7 years, they squandered a technological lead because they couldn't get out of their own way because, as it turns out, they're a bunch of crooks. And at the end of the day, a couple of guys got rich and everyone else got whatever they got. Maybe they did good on the token. Probably they didn't. There's still a lot of people that bought that token at almost $4. There's people that bought it in the threes. There's people that bought it in the high twos. There's people that bought it in the mid twos. They've been waiting for years, years, like 7 years at a loss, a big one. Anyway, tokenomics. We have to understand the project's economic models, including the token distributions, their allocations, their release schedules, who owns what, where, why, are there lockups, are there not lockups, scrutinize how the tokens are distributed among the founders, the investors, the community, assess whether the model promotes long-term value and sustainability, or is this an exit? That's important. And then finally, why token? Why does the token exist? What is the token necessity? Do I need this token to do this job? At least with Ripple and XRP, yes, you need the token to do what they say you can do. Oh, wait a minute. What about their stablecoin? No, you don't need the token. Oh, wait. What about the XRP ledger? Can it use tokens that are not XRP? Yes. Does it have to settle in XRP? No. So is there token necessity? No. Shit. Bitcoin? Yes. Ethereum? Yes. So, like, you get it? Luna? Ugh. Chainlink? No. In the white paper, it states the token is not necessary for Chainlink to succeed, for those oracles to fire off, data sharing transactions. Not needed. You don't need the Chainlink token. It's in the white paper. How much more obvious? Jeez. I'm going to be cleaning my pool for a fucking year. God damn it. I mean, I guess it's the same amount of cleaning, right? You're just doing so many, like, back and forth with your arms. I guess it's the same thing. Anyway, it just looks dirtier, so it's more depressing. Anyway, why token? And unfortunately, when you try to apply why token to a lot of these projects, there's no good answer. And so, in your attempt to ensure that the token, that there is some fundamental reason for the token to exist, that the creation of a token adds value or creates a value chain and utility rather than just complicating the ecosystem unnecessarily and putting money in the pockets of a bunch of idiots like AGIX, not needed, SDAO, not needed, NewNet, not needed, Sophiaverse, not needed, Rejuve, not needed. Fetch, still not needed. Kudos. It was not needed so much, they did away with the coin. So, I mean, just look around. So you're gonna give these 5 criterion a 1 through 5. Again, 18 to 25 is investable. Then you got to decide where it fits position limit wise in your portfolio. 15 to 18 is probably a trade. Below 15, it could be a trade because sentiment moves mountains. But just be very careful. There's probably not a lot of value there if you were to boil it down. Yeah, I mean, and then once again, just real quick, the pillars of math are definitions, theorems, and proofs. The pillars of a crypto project's success, this is use, utility, the potential for wide-scale adoption, the hoarding effect, and considering what would dummies do, because there's, that's the game theoretical angle of it. And I would just add, if you want to have one more pillars to really top your day off, it's what are the pillars of a crypto transaction? And that is agree on a block, send a block, and verify a block, right? Agree on a block, which means achieve consensus. Send a block of data, which means to propagate that block among all the other nodes, and then verify the block. So make it, send it, stamp it. Make it, send it, stamp it. Agree, send, verify. And the verify part is to synchronize all the nodes so that everybody agrees that this is what happens. And then you can have transaction termination, which doesn't mean the transaction gets murdered. It means it goes into perpetuity. It is an actual transaction. It has trueness, concreteness. It happened. And that's the beauty of crypto. All right. So that said, I leave you to your Tuesday and just, watch these markets. Down markets are good. Down markets are when you get the stuff that you maybe didn't get when you could have gotten, you were thought about it, and you're like, well, should I? I believe we're in a bull market. I believe that we're going to be in a bull market. Nothing is ever straight up, but I think the next several years look really good. And we will see here starting in about 13 days what that looks like and how people react to what that looks like. So we'll see you tomorrow. Stay in school. Don't do drugs. Don't do anything my poor and solvent drunk, string on a meth grandmother wouldn't do. Or Brandon, and I'm guessing it's probably cold and miserable where he's at. Here it's warm and miserable only because of all this wind. It just kicked up about 2 or 3 hours ago. It just took all these leaves from all these crappy real trees. See, if they were fake trees, I wouldn't be having these problems. They're real trees. Real trees suck. Come on, AI. Make me some good robot trees. Robot trees would behave. I wouldn't be raking up after their sorry asses.